All praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. And this is going to be a lesson on how women are going to learn the extreme differences between men and women during the day of all hell breaking loose, man, during the day of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, right? They're going to find out, like, just how much men spared them from day to day, man. I still don't think that women actually understand just how much mercy men have on women from day to day, man. And there's certain things where women are now starting to realize that, oh, men have stopped doing these things but now they're trying to make out like, oh, men are sassy. They'll try and say, oh, men are doing this and men are doing that, like it was things that men had to do for them, which shows the arrogance of women, man. Like, and explains why King Solomon said that a woman he finds more bitter than death, a woman whose heart snares the nets. Now, some of the things where women will expect that men, or that used to, let me say it, Salakia, man. Like some of the things that women used to receive by men that now they don't have anymore, that they're now starting to realize, oh shit, why have men, and they don't think man, maybe we did something wrong, that men took this away. Well, one thing is attention. Men don't just give as much attention to random women anymore, man. Right? The whole sympathy, how it's turned away the simping spirit from this earth, man. He's turning it down, right? And now police, you're starting to see a whole bunch more of them videos, body camera arrests, where women are getting hemmed up, snatched up by the police, and the police ain't playing no games, right? You're seeing these videos online of women saying, oh, why didn't no man give up his seat for me in public? All these men are standing up, all these able-bodied men are standing up. And none of them gave me a seat, none of them gave me this, none of them gave me that. But any of these women that say these things, right? If you was to ask them, what is it that women should be obligated to do for men that they don't know? Because these men that are not giving up their seat to these women don't know them, right? They just expect to be given a seat because they're a woman. And guess what? In the past, men would do that because men used to have mercy on women, but women have shown that they don't deserve that mercy. The mercy that men and the grace that men gave women, that they took advantage of and thought that they actually deserved it, man. That's one of the things with women. That it's one of the most angering things about women, man. The more nice things you do for them, they don't think, oh, wow, this person's doing nice things for me. They just feel like they deserve the things that they're getting given to them. It's a real sickening trait that they have, man. It's sickening. It's truly disgusting, man. The more things that get done for them, doesn't matter how flamboyant. Like, they literally, if a man started taking a woman to the moon once a week, she'd think that she deserves that. She'd be like, yeah, of course I'm gonna get taken to the moon. Yeah, I'm a queen. Of course he's gonna take me to the moon. And he better take me to Jupiter next. that's what she was thinking. Real talk. And if he started taking her to the moon one week and then Jupiter the next week, she'd be like, yeah, but it wasn't Pluto. Eventually, she'd be like, yeah, but it wasn't Pluto though. And if he told her, bitch, I'm taking you to the moon. I've been taking you to the moon. I've been taking you to Jupiter. She'd be like, yeah, and as you should. You know what I mean? As you should. That's the bare minimum. They'd be like, that's the bare minimum, man. If left unchecked, if this society just carried on as it is, the extreme disgustingness of women would only get worse. It would only get worse, man. Because they wouldn't ever think, man, you know what? Maybe what we're asking for is a bit too extreme. Because I haven't met no man that's 8 foot with 20,000 figures in his bank account, right? And he's got the charisma of a stand-up comedian, the athleticism of a boxer, NFL player, baseball player, boxer, MMA fighter, all combined into one. Got the intelligence of every single, you know what I mean? He's Neil deGrasse Tyson, you know what I mean? He's got the highest level of intelligence on this earth. He knows about everything. He's smooth. He's James Bond. You know what I mean? You're thinking that he's all these. He's every single character. He's Ghost from Power combined in there as well. He's fogged out when he needs to, and he's classy when it. You know what I mean? They wouldn't think, man, maybe I'm going a bit too extreme because I ain't ever met that geezer before. they'd still just be saying all the bug that shit that they're saying, man. But in this video, you've got some women that have got some damn sense. Anyway, I'm gonna read what it says at the top of there in the left-hand corner. It says the physical strength of men alone is terrifying as a woman and sometimes horribly underestimated. And that's one of the main things that women don't understand in this world, man, that men spare them, man. A lot of times women get cheeky and disrespectful to men in this world, right? And allow women to get physical with them. But they could easily, like, a man that, let's take a man that's, what would people try and say is not necessarily short, but it's not necessarily tall either. A man that's 5'8", 150 pounds, right? And then let's take 5 women that are 5'8" and 150 pounds and put them up against that 150 pound man. That, don't you know that 150 pound man could, and I'm talking about untrained, that 150 pound man could probably knock out all of those 150 pound women that are the same height and weight as him, man. He could probably knock every single one of their heads off. And this ain't me trying to start no man versus woman fight league. I'm just pointing out that women that don't actually understand the difference between men and women, because men don't really show them it. Men don't really show them it, man. But all you have to do to really understand the difference between men and women is look at the world records in sports, man. Start going through the list. 100 meters, men's record. 100 meters, women's record. And then look at the female champion's time. And then look at the number 10th men's time that didn't even make it to the final heat. And you'd be like, damn, he's faster than the fastest woman. And you'd be like, oh, man, men really are. Like, look at the 200 meters time. And look at the women's 200 meters time. And you'd be like, damn, the men are stronger again. Look at the shot put men's record, female shot put. I ain't even looked at most of these. I'm just saying, if you want to really see the difference between men and women physically, right, you can just start looking at things like that, man. They only just recently added in 3-minute rounds to female boxing in the professionals. Female professional tennis players do 2 sets to win the game. They have to win 2 sets to win the game, right? But they get paid the same as men. The men have to complete 3 sets. They have to reach 6 games or 7 games, right? Or sometimes even more than that. 3 times. Women only have to do it twice, man. So in a man's game, right, if a man wins 2 sets in a row, he's still got to have to play a 3rd set. If that was a female game, they've won the match. But if it was a man's game, if his opponent then wins the 3rd set and the 4th, guess what? They got going to a 5th. The most sets that you're going to play in a woman's game is 3. Now, I don't know if they've changed that, but that just shows that they understand the difference in males and female strength, man. And I personally find watching female tennis more enjoyable than watching the men's. That's one of the few sports that I think that the female one is better than the men's one, man. Female tennis, right? But the female tennis players can't even hang with the male tennis players, man. They can't return their serve. They can't return their forehand, their backhand. They'd be too slow, you know? And this would be one of the worst men's players. Like right now, take a teenager, right? From 19 to 15, that's been boxing since it was like, let's say 5, and put them in the ring with a female world champion, and I'd put my money on one of those, man. Then the female world champion, and I'm not joking. I think they'd punch them up, man. And that's why the scriptures say, rise up, you women that are at ease, because when it really gets bad down here, you women are not going to be having your own way, because physicality is going to be a part of the program in that time. People are going to be running up in stores, stealing things. That's physical. So if there's someone, when people first run up in the store, when it's first happening and the looting begins in the beginning, it's not going to be as bad, because when you go to the shelf and you see the item that you want to get, it's going to all be there, right? But when the looting of the 2nd or 3rd or 4th days or weeks starts happening, however long the day of the Lord lasts, right? And the store's more empty. Now it's going to be a thing of, okay, I wanted that thing that you're trying to take and you've got it. So now I'm going to have to take it from you, man. And the women are going to be the main ones that it's going to be an easy target to steal from. And what are they going to be able to do? Are they going to be, police, police, I'm calling the police. No, you're not. The police ain't available to call. So no, you're not calling them. Are they going to be able to call their brother Jerome? No. Because their brother Jerome's too busy worrying about what he's got going on. And the man that she might want to try and call her brother Jerome on might not give a damn about her brother Jerome. Or he might simply just not let her get access to call that brother. Because how it goes right now in this world is the woman will be calling her brother or whatever, calling whatever man she knows right in front of your face, lying about what happened, and the man's got to stand there like a sucker, listening to her lie. Or she'll be following him, listening to it, following him while he's trying to walk away and get away from the situation, lying about what happened, crying over the phone, trying to make out like he beat her up or whatever, when really he was pushing her away, defending himself, right? But in the time to come, the man will snatch the phone, break the phone, might bust the woman's head open, right? And the woman ain't calling nobody. And it's been sent back to the spirit world, man. And I'm not trying to like hope for this to happen, but it's gonna happen anyway, whether I want it to or not. It ain't about it. These things are gonna happen because I'm saying it. They're gonna happen because they're a part of the day of the Lord's wrath, man. The whole women and children first thing is gonna go down the pan, mate. That's not gonna be a thing that anyone's talking about. No one ain't gonna care about women and children first to the boats and all that. They ain't gonna be giving a damn about none of that, man. Men have been stepped on so much in this society that they're gonna be disgusted at the thought of some women and children first. And any man that tries to come in and that women and children first bullshit, he might get punched up too, man. This is the kind of day that's coming up that people just really haven't considered, man. And a lot of you women have not considered that because you haven't truly seen what a man could do if he snaps. You haven't seen it, man. And that's why a lot of women have grown arrogant in this world, because it's been other men that have kept other men contained. And even the men that kept the other men contained, they had to use other things in trickery and had to have the society had to have certain things in it that kept them men contained, man. The ability to buy a house, the ability to go on holidays a certain amount of times, the ability to go out and get all the kind of food you want, the clothes you want, the ability to have the certain amount of money to get with women and all this that you want to be able to do. These are some of the things that kept the average men contained and calm, right? But as this society is starting to crumble more and more, the things that kept people tamed are being taken away. So people are going to snap, man, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold, right? Because more and more things are going to be taken away from this world, because there's going to be more and more lawlessness, because whenever people wanted mercy for something that they wanted mercy for and didn't receive no justice or no mercy, when they see somebody in a messed up situation, they ain't going to care and ain't going to give that person no mercy, man. That's how it's going to go, right? That's how it's going to go. That's how it's going to get, man. Like, people ain't going to be caring about anything that people have got to say in the time to come. And a lot of these women have, like the women in this video, they understand, right? But this is like, I think maybe at this point in the video, it might have been like maybe 10 women that had a video point, a topic on it, like 10 women maybe, right? But there's still loads of women out there that are arrogant and they don't actually understand that if a man truly decided to snap and spaz on a woman, she couldn't do anything, man. She couldn't really do anything. Even I remember I watched one video, right? And it was a video where a man broke into a woman's house and her daughter screamed, and then the mom was in another house on their property, and she grabbed her gun and pulled upon the guy and like had him at gunpoint, right? And somehow the mom still ended up getting shot. So she had him at gunpoint, was calling the police and all that, right? And somehow she still ended up getting shot because she still didn't know how to control that situation, man. You can't just make yourself be like good at violence. You can't just make it like, even when it comes to fighting, right? a boxer, if you throw a punch at a boxer's face, right, the boxer's and you hit the boxer in his face, he's gonna blink at the most, or roll, or like even if it hits him, he's gonna blink, right? He ain't gonna like turn his whole back away. That's not normal. Now, Deontay Wilder did that and got himself knocked out, but that was because he got hit with a hard punch that made him think that it was an illegal blow, and he like really got messed up, man. But it's not normal for a boxer to just turn their whole back when they're getting hit with a punch, right? But the average civilian, if they get hit by a punch, they're turning their head, twisting their back. When women get hit, when you see women that are trying to fight men on videos and stuff like that, right? It's the most amazing thing. They literally go from being vertical, standing up, to being horizontal in an instant because they don't expect to get hit. Their balance isn't even designed because of how arrogant they've become in this world. Their balance isn't even got the thought of, man, this man might hit me when I pull up on him. When I go to hit this man, yeah, he's gonna hit me back, and I'm gonna end up on the. They don't think like that. They think that, yeah, here we go again. I'm just gonna hit this guy, and that's gonna be the end of it. And one good example of this is the famous McDonald's video, man. We had these women that tried to give a fake $100 bill, and I was putting up on this Jake that they didn't know used to be in prison, but he worked at McDonald's now, and he was trying to turn his life around or whatever, right? And they started casually just walking around the counter to beat him up, right? And he pulled out, I don't know where he pulled the iron rod out, but he pulled out an iron pole and proceeded to start busting their head, man. And I personally think that video is hilarious. They tried to just pull up around the corner, was walking real casual, like they was finna do something, and he bust them up, man. Now, when all hell breaks loose, this is going to be happening on a regular. It's not going to be no joke. It's not going to be no game. And because women have not understood this, they've waxed arrogant in this world, man. They've waxed arrogant, and they've thought that they can treat men in a disrespectful way. But men, because they're more humble than women, accepted some of the disrespect, man. They was like, you know what? I know what I could do, but I'm going to be humble because I don't want to dishonor myself. And there's things that I want to do in this world that I will not be able to do anymore if I do this. But when all hell breaks loose, right, as the prophecies say, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Meaning that now it's not going to be a thing of, I know I've got the power to do this, but I'll get arrested. No, what they want to do in that time is going to be the only thing that matters. If you've got the power to do it, you're going to be able to get away with it. That it's going to be like the movie Purge, basically. That's what it's going to be like, man. Can you get away with it? Okay. But if you can get away with it and you can do it, then you'll be able to do it. That's how it's going to be like for all these wicked ass people down here, man. And there's a lot of sickos in this world. There's a lot of sickening, bugged out people in this world, man. Weirdos, predators. There's predators type people in this world, man, that are always looking for a weakling to try and bully them. There's loads of people like that in this world. And for a long time, men that tried to have a kinder heart protected women from these people, right? But as time's gone on and on more and more, women have become more and more arrogant, and eventually, through the wars that are getting ready to happen on this earth, those kinds of men are going to be taken out. And the men that believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai are not going to want to help you women because they're going to understand that this is the judgment of the Lord. And all that's going to be left are the people that don't care about you or about anything to do with God. So they're going to do what they want to do. And only women that are humble are going to be accepted around the men that are actually got a bright future in what's coming, which are the men that believe in God, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. Like in this video, I'm seeing that okay, these women understand that men are stronger than women, but there's a lot of women out there that don't understand that it's not only about men are stronger than women, we're wiser than you too. And if you would have listened to us, your lives would have been better. But because of your arrogance, right, you ended up in the situation that you're in. Like, I still don't think that women even actually understand on a sociology level, right? Meaning like things that happen in society change what happens in the world, that by everyone wanting to be single, right? That's the reason why women are crying about the rent price. Because if everyone's single, well, now you can have some scumbag landlord buying a house, a property, right? A 3-bedroom house property. And instead of it being everyone, one person, one family lives in that property, right? And they might charge them like, depending on where you live, these numbers might vary, £500 to £1,000 a month, right? Now they'll be charging every single person, or single people, £5 to £100 to, excuse me, £5 to £1,000 a month to live in one room and share the kitchen, and the living room has been changed into a room, man. That's what they're doing. How they're doing you people now. You share the kitchen, you share the bathroom, and everybody else has a room, and the living rooms became a bedroom, man. That's how they're doing people now in this world. And then you'll have people that think that that's actually the right way to live, but no, you've actually destroyed. It's the reason why the food price has gone up, helped for the food price to go up as well anyway. But people don't think about these kind of things. It's the reason why the job salaries are decreased. Because if there's so many people now, like a 50% increase of the people that can do a job, well, why does the job salary need to be so high? Because we can just quickly change one worker out for another. And that's actually part of the reason why the whole Birmingham, UK bin situation happened, man. Because there was one job that was within that industry that people was questioning, man, why do we even need this job? Why do we need this job? And they was like, okay, maybe we don't need that job. So they fired and got rid of that job title. But then all the people that was of that job title now became workers of the lower grade job title. So then now they had more abundance of those people. So then those workers started saying, we're gonna strike because we want to keep the same money that we had. But then they're like, nah, we don't need you to do that. We've got more abundance. And then now look what's happened to Birmingham now. If you don't know, it's through, right? I just wanted to talk about this topic a bit. I'm still gonna carry on saying a few more things. Let me just see how much time I've been going on for. Yeah, I want to say this scripture as well, man. It's Isaiah 32:9. Rise up, women that are at ease, man. Because a lot of women don't actually understand. Let me see if I can get another thumbnail on here to show like. All right, nah, I can't. A lot of women don't realize that the difference between men and them is vast, man. Like even the things that it takes to maintain a man and maintain a woman are not the same. A man to get ready to go out, put on his clothes, right, make them be clean, put something on his face so that it's not dry, right? Put on a fragrance, put on his shoes and go out. Women, they have to do all these other things just for them to feel like they're themselves, and they even complain about that. That's one of their complaints, and why they think that men should have to take them on all these flamboyant dates because their makeup's so expensive and their this and their that, right? And it's like, hang on, if you got to do all of these things to look like yourself, then are you really as pretty as you think you are? Maybe you should humble down. Maybe you should be more humble. But as we know, women ain't really humble, man. They're not humble. Even women that are actually absolutely ugly in this world, man, and not got a nice personality, not intelligent, right? Like fat as well. Like they're arrogant as well. They're arrogant too, man. But when all hell breaks loose, them fat women are gonna find out that just because you're man-sized, you don't have a man's strength. But right now, because men have got other things to do, and they still got some kind of hopes in this world, they kind of haven't shown these kind of women that the difference in strength, man. But occasionally there's an example that Yahweh puts out there to show. But when it really goes down, you men that have been at ease are going to be absolutely humbled, man. I'm going to be longing back for the times when men was being how they was before. You know what I mean? The time they're going to be longing for the times that you all took advantage of, right? And that's why women are now saying all this chivalry is dead and all this stuff, men assassin, all this. Well, what did you women do then? What did women do in general as a whole unit to make it be like this? What did they do? Where did they go wrong, man? Where did they go wrong? Because the whole house of Israel is gonna think, man, what did we do wrong? When Yahweh starts crashing his world down, in the affliction they're gonna seek Yahweh early, right? That's what it says. And in you women's affliction, you're gonna be seeking after men early, because you women are not as strong and independent and all that stuff that you like to claim. All this strong and independent stuff that you men claim to be real, yeah. Let's see how strong you are and how independent you are during the day of the Lord when all hell breaks loose, man. Like every time I actually sit back and think about it, I'm like, man, these men actually don't understand how like brutal it's gonna be for them out there, man. Just the fact that, like, man, once a month for 7 days, roughly, give or take, you men are on your menstrual, man. When all hell breaks loose, if the day of the Lord lasts a month, don't you know you're gonna be going through that when all hell's breaking loose? And you ain't gonna just be having access to all these pharmacia that keep you away from being able to do all of these things. You ain't gonna have access to the GP services and all that. You're gonna have access to that. You ain't gonna have access to the men in your phone that you used to call to handle this and handle that. You might not even be in a house in that time, man. The place that people are living in right now, when all hell breaks loose, you might not be safe to live there. Have you people considered that? Some of you people are so arrogant, you think that, okay, the day of the Lord's gonna come and it's gonna be crazy outside. But if I just stay in the house, what do you mean if you just stay in the house? There might be people that come to where you live, man. You might not be in a house for months, for weeks, for days, having to live and sleep outside, and it might rain every single day. You consider that? You consider that a wet head every single day, man. You consider what you're gonna do in that situation. Have you considered that? Men consider those kind of things, and men can handle a way worse and rough terrain than women. Men can sleep on the floor, man. Our forefather Jacob, he slept with a rock as a pillow. Right? He slept with a rock as a pillow, man. Can your women handle that? How many women does it mention in this Bible that use a rock as a pillow? From my count, it's zero. From my count, it's zero, man. From my understanding, it says in the Bible that the daughters of Zion used to be so tender and delicate that they didn't even put their foot on the ground outside. They wouldn't even want to put their foot on the ground. And to understand that, if you think about little babies, right? When a little baby's been used to getting carried around all the time, and then the first day that you make them put their feet on grass, right? The first time, and it's this very fascinating thing to see. The first time you try and make a little baby's foot touch grass, right? Just walk outside and touch grass. They don't want to touch the grass. They like their foot touches it, and they like it's almost like it's too prickly for them, and they lift up their foot. They don't want to walk on it because the grass and the ground is too rough for the baby's soft foot, man. That's what the Israelite woman used to be like, to be gallivanting and putting her foot outside, man. The ground outside would be too hard for a foot. But now some of these hard toe gal out here, they ain't on none of that. They'll run a marathon. It's lucky. They'll run a marathon barefooted, man. Drunk as hell. Barefoot. They'll run it all up and down the local high street, fighting another woman. Beach, 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 beach. With her high heels in her hand, trying to put her heel in the next gal's head, man. Drunk as hell, running women over, being a BBL, a demon. That's how they are now. But in times past, they used to be like that baby that I mentioned where they won't even put their foot on the grass. Like when you women really, man, like you've had this, there's probably literally been hundreds of thousands of videos on you women telling you to humble down, because what's going to be happening down here is so brutal that men are going to be acting like you. Men are going to be acting feminine like women do for the destruction that's going to be taking place. So what are you going to be acting like? It says, ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail like a woman with child. Wherefore do I see everyone with his hands on his loins, right? And they turn to tenderness, man. Why are the men going to be acting shook up like women? What's happening that the men acting shook up like women? What's going on? What's going on, man? That's one of the things that you have to consider. What is going to be happening that men are going to be going on like that? There's going to be a whole bunch of PTSD going on to make men just crumble, man. They're going to crumble. They're going to see certain things that, like, man, I never thought I would ever see nothing like that in my life. Mighty men are going to be turning like that. Men that right now could knock 10 men's heads off. They're going to be turned into some kind of weak wimp, man. From the destruction levels that they're going to see. The destruction level is going to reach even higher than the point that they thought they could handle, man. So what are you women going to be like? You mean already can't even handle right now 2 men fighting in public when you don't know any of them, and none of the violence is even going your way. You start screaming, ah, ah, ah. You women are so nosy in this world that 2 males will be getting into a situation that don't even involve you, and you'll see it starting to get a bit violent. You'll start screaming out, spazzing, and almost get your head knocked off, man. Because you can't even handle it when it's not even aimed at you. So what about when it becomes, or if it became aimed at you for something that you did wrong? And they ain't gonna be no man to help and care because they got their own situations to deal with, and they're not gonna care anymore because it's gonna be a survival of the fittest, a dog eat dog world. People are gonna be about their own self. They're gonna be selfish, man. There's gonna be a famine. There's gonna be a lack of bread, so people ain't gonna be helping nobody else out, man. This is what's getting ready to happen. Have you considered that? Have you been preparing spiritually for these things? Shalom to the elect.